Well, you join us here back at Paradise Lakes, mid-August. We've just come down for a little 5-night session and we're off the mark with this lovely 31-pound mirror. What a way to start the session, and hopefully there's some big uns waiting for us out there. There's been a bit of activity this morning and my marker pole out there has been knocking like mad, so hopefully there's a few more bites to be had today. So here at Paradise Lakes, you're only allowed to use a mono or soft lure hook link. Me and Si have been here a few times before and we've been successful with a particular rig, so I'll quickly show you how we tie it up and hopefully it'll help you if you come to visit Paradise. So I'm using the ESP Soft Ghost in 18-pound, it's a lovely soft fluorocarbon. I tend to go for about 14 inches of that. And then you want to take your ring swivel, quickly tie a knot, gently pull that down, bed that in. And then what you want to do on the other end is take a small Ronnie swivel or spinner swivel, knot that as well. Always remember to wet your knots, you don't want to burn the fluoro. Again, pull that down. What I then do is I've got 2 puller tools, put one in each of the rings, straighten that boom out, saves you having to steam it. And if you pull that, it beds the knots both down and you end up with a nice straight boom straight away. Trim them tag ends up. These are size 4 curve shank X. And take a small section of shrink tubing. You want about 1.5 centimetres. Pop that over the eye of the hook. Push that onto the spinner swivel. Slide it down so it goes just over the barrel. And then heat that up to shrink it down. An important bit is to make sure you put a slight bend in that as it sets. And you want to make sure it's dead in line with the hook point. So that's your finished product. All we've got to do now is quickly put a hook bait on there. Quickly grab a hook bead and that's your finished product. So that night I hit repeat and I baited heavily, and by morning I had another cracking carp. I should point out at this part in the journey that I've been pretty ill leading up to the trip and it nearly never happened. And as I went to pick the fish up, as you'll see, I had a sudden sharp pain and I had to put the fish down and Simon had to pop it in the retainer, so I took some time out. Having taken some painkillers and feeling better, I was really eager to get the fish back. So we decided to do a couple of quick shots out in the lake, and in the rush to do so, I forgot to switch the mic on properly. But for the record, it went 38 pound. Now the fish was back, it was time to get some rest and leave Simon to the fishing.
So finally got some rewards. It's the evening now, the second day. This has come from a heavily baited spot. I've been sitting on it for 2 days watching them fizz and show over the spot. But this mid-30 common has made me a very happy man today. I'm going to get my rods back out and hopefully, with them still showing on the spot, I'll have a couple more. What beautiful fish.
Much of the rest of the day was spent relaxing, and even in that evening I decided I wasn't going to go out and bait up heavily that night. I'd seen fish in the area on both of the previous nights, I only had one fish and felt that I should be having more bites, so I decided to starve the spots and see if it would bring quicker action. Unfortunately, by the next morning we realised we'd made a mistake and all we had to show for that night was a small catfish.
The baiting approach that we've taken this week is to choose our main spot in the swim and then feed that one spot heavily. The fish in here do react to big beds of bait, and we're fed heavily with the house pellet and also a little of the house boiling. And the reason that we've taken this approach is that the lake now hasn't been fished for a few weeks, and Adam normally during this time would feed the lake with the house pellet and a little bit of the boiling. So we've tried to recreate that scenario, which is safe for the fish. We've pre-soaked the boilie in lake water. We've also added some oils as well, and the oils I've chosen to go with is salmon oil and also sea stim. Salmon oil was great at this time of year, and the sea stim, I believe, really aids a feeding response. But we've washed the baits out a little bit, and hopefully this will get us another bite.
Wow, what a start to the day. 50-pound 8, cracker, just before first light. I was actually down in Simon's Swim, he'd just got fish snagged up, so I'd gone out in the boat. Whilst I was out in the boat, my rod absolutely ripped off, so Simon legged it down the bank, grabbed the rod, so I could quickly get back to shore. But yeah, absolutely made up with this one. Gonna get him back and see what the day brings us. Well, we're at the back end of our trip now, and it's been a really enjoyable trip. It has been challenging. The carp are clearly preoccupied feeding on the fry from this summer's spawn, and any other naturals down in the silkweed. So what I've been doing during the day is reeling my rods in, giving the swim a rest, and I've been going out stalking for the last 3 days. I have had a few opportunities, and I did get picked up yesterday. Unfortunately, using the little leads, they managed to throw the hook. So today I've come back earlier to try and get into this little shallow bay before they arrive, and I've deployed some bigger leads, and hopefully we can trip one up for the camera. So let's see how the day goes. Hopefully we'll have one to show you.
What a start to the last day. This one just before first light decided he liked my baited spot. But before we go up the lake to show something special from Rich, whilst I was taking photos of this one, the other rod's ripped off. So let's go and get this one back, and I've got another one to show you. So my second fish of the morning. Whilst I was taking photos of that common, and rewarded £40 8-ounce mirror. What a great way to end the trip. Let's go and see Richard's special fish.
Just want to do your pictures. Well, whilst I was sitting there watching the amazing sunrise we've got this morning, rod went into meltdown and I've been rewarded with this absolutely chunky 54.4 mirror. Yeah, it's been an amazing week here, and if this ends up being the last fish of the trip, what a way to end it. We'll certainly be back.